Hello and welcome to Against All Odds, a program that is dedicated at showcasing survivor stories. My name is Rachel Munyeheli and today's story is all about survival, an accident. Let me ask you this question. How often have you heard or have taken for granted the words that actually say, "Thank God you're alive today"? When we walk out of our homes each and every morning and we come back and nothing has happened to us and we take a nap or we sleep throughout the night and we wake up the next day and the process keeps going on and on, but we never really take into consideration what those words actually mean. Thank God you're alive today. Well, we're going to be talking about survival, and it's all about an accident that almost took his life, but he is here today to share his story. Please help me welcome to Against All Odds, Courage. Courage, thank you so much for joining us right here.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Rash, and thank you for having me here. It's an opportunity that I don't take lightly, being in front of the camera and in front of the whole nation.
Great, okay.
Yeah.
Let's start off with a little bit of your background, your upbringing. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm pretty much of a young man, probably growing older as well. Born in Mtare, grew up in so many places, grew up in Mashingo, Harare partly, Kwekwe, Gweru. So basically because of the nature of my father's job during my time growing up, I've literally been everywhere. But I've spent much of my time working in both Harare and in Mashingo as well, where the tragedy or the almost tragedy happened.
Okay.
And as far as my accident is concerned.
All right. Let's talk about the day of the accident. Starting off, with your day, normal. What happened on that day? Okay,
so I was working for a quasi-government organization, and we were working 3 weeks in and a week out. Who basically take 7 days off from work. So my plan, most of my off days is either I'll travel to South Africa or I'll travel to Harare from Mashingo. So my plan was to come to Harare for my off day. So our shifts would start on a Tuesday and on a Tuesday morning. So it was a Monday. Yeah, it was a Monday, and my friend came to me. He's like, okay, but for our last day, can we just use my car and we go to work together? He was a colleague that I was working with. So the guy, okay, so this bit that I'm telling you is narrated to me because
You don't remember?
I don't recall anything.
Okay.
I think they call it amnesia or something like that. So he came, instead of us using the shuttle bus for which the company provided, the guy came to pick me up. That was around 9:15 in the evening, because this was a night shift, remember. So he came, he picked me up. So I left my car parked. I usually parked my car close to my bedroom window. You know how it is being a young man driving and stuff like that. So he came, he picked me up, and then we drove into town. We got into a supermarket. We bought some bread, because this was winter time. It was in July. We bought some bread. Then we got into his car. And he says to me, I said, let's put on our seatbelts, of which we eventually did. So we drove, I was on my phone, I was on WhatsApp, he's driving. And then the next thing, I think after a distance of 5 kilometers, close to Rodin suburb, the tragedy happened. He swerved off the road and the car crashed using my side. And there I was flat. He looked for people, and typical when an accident happens, people came, they started taking photos, and they were not even offering any help. So the cops came, they called my father, then they said to my father, no, your son has been involved in an accident. And my father was quite amused, and he said, no, he can't be in an accident, he's still in his room sleeping, and he hasn't said goodbye to me, and his car is actually parked outside. So I was like, no, please, can you come through? And then he came to my room, and he could not find me there. Then he called my cousin. Then they proceeded to Mashingo General Hospital. There they came, and I was lying down. I was lying on the bed flat. I wasn't even talking. So the doctors there said that they couldn't really deal with the situation at Masvingo General Hospital, so I had to be transferred to Harare. And ironically, the person who came with the ambulance was a young sister to my mom.
Oh.
Yeah. So she came, they carried me, and they told my father to sit with me at the back of the ambulance. And my father said, no, I cannot watch my son die. So I would rather sit on the front of at the front of the vehicle. So they drove, we go to Harare. My first point of call was South Medical Center. There I was, I think, for a couple of days. And my referral doctor, whom I'm very grateful for, his name is Mr. Makoni, an orthopedic surgeon, said I'm supposed to be transferred to Western Hospital. There I was transferred to Western Hospital. Yeah, that was on the 16th of July, and I'm in a coma. Yeah.
So this is 16th July of which year?
2012.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
So you were in a coma for how long? Do you know how long that period was?
That was close to 2 weeks.
2 weeks in a coma?
Yes,
all right.
yes.
And when you woke up, do you remember when you woke up?
Yeah, I do. I do. According to my recollection, when I woke up, I thought I was late for work. I thought I had overslept. So I think with a cast on my leg, I just got off the bed and I saw a male nurse come to me. It's like, no, take it easy. I'm like,
what's going on?
What? So I thought I was in a dream. So I got back to the bed and I slept. I woke up again, and when I'm waking up, I see the pillowcases in Western Hospital. I'm like, the Western Hospital that I know is in Harare, but I stay in Masvingo.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, what am I doing in Harare? So the nurse, that male nurse, said to me, no, just relax. Your relatives will come and they'll explain to you. So my brother then, I think he was the first to come through the visiting hour, and it's like, okay, bro, you're awake now. I'm like, what do you mean? What happened to me? What am I doing here? So he says, I know you're involved in an accident. I'm like, no. What do you mean? I was involved in an accident. Was I driving my car? Then he says, no, you're in a colleague's vehicle. Then he calls the guy, and the guy is almost tears and is so happy, you're alive.
Oh,
I thought you're going to die. Things like that, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, there you can hear Courage narrating his story, telling us what happened in the tragic accident. Lucky to be alive, as he's here to tell his story. We'll take a break. When we come back, we want to find out, how did the accident affect his life? Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Against All Odds. And just before the break, we were talking to Courage, who was narrating how he got involved in an accident with his colleague when he was going to work for night shift in Masvingo. It so happened that their vehicle veered off the road and their vehicle hit a tree, causing the accident. He was transferred from Masvingo to Harare hospitals here, where he did get treatment, but he was in a coma for 2 weeks. When he woke up, he was sure that I'm supposed to be going to work, I must be late, but only realizing that no, something is not right. He realized that he's in hospital. Now, as you said just before the break, your brother came through and he's like, no, you're involved in an accident. You couldn't believe it. He called your peer, who you're with in the accident.
Yeah,
and your peer was, in tears, shedding tears,
was,
thinking, oh my goodness me.
He was overwhelmed as well, yeah.
Yeah. How was that all for you at that time?
At the time, I know I was just surprised, and it really didn't make sense, because if I recall correctly, my face was very swollen, and my mandible, my jaw was broken as well. But well, I couldn't really feel it. I think pretty much because of the meds that I was given, or probably the grace of God as well. Yeah,
all right.
Definitely.
Let's talk about the injuries that you sustained in the accident. What injuries did you sustain?
I had a broken mandible on the jaw. See, there's an operation here, and up to now I still have a broken collarbone.
Okay.
And a compound fracture on the femur, once, and twice on the tibia.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to get these orthopedic corrections on my leg. And even up to now, my limbs are not of the equal length.
Okay.
So
one is slightly shorter than the other?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I've got a new way of walking.
I like that. Okay,
Yeah.
you talked about surgery, that you actually went through multiple surgeries.
Yeah, correct.
How was that on you physically and emotionally? Let's talk about, the period that you realize that you're in hospital, you're in a coma, you wake up, then you're being told you're involved in an accident, and you still have to go through these multiple surgeries so that, they can sort of get everything going and your body back to as normal as it can. How was that like for you emotionally, mentally, as well as physically?
Okay, emotionally at the time, the periods when they took me for surgeries, it wasn't really much because I was still trying to put everything together mentally and to understand what's really happening here. And if I'm to tell you the operation on the leg, I only realized that I had an operation on the leg when I was discharged. I think it was probably a month after when I was going through my x-rays. And then I see I think they call it the platent, that platent school thing. I'm like, okay, so what is this? So my sister, who is also in the medical fraternity, she says, no, there's an operation that Mr. Makoni did on you. I'm like, what? Really?
So you didn't know all this stuff?
No, I didn't know all the stuff that it happened. So at that particular time, I was okay with it because, I think I was just grateful that I'm alive. And because I didn't get to experience the accident, it was a situation where I felt I really didn't feel anything in a way.
Okay.
Yeah, I really didn't feel anything that I was involved in an accident. But the people that were seeing me now, they were like, okay, hey, you've been through a lot. Thank God. Brah, you're supposed to be dead. And stuff like that. So, it is. I think you also for
the emotional side
as
well.
The emotional side, yeah. I think the emotional bit of it, it came because I couldn't walk. So I had to go for close to 9 months to a year without walking. I was on crutches, on a wheelchair, on crutches, and it really hit me hard. I loved sport, and I still do love sport. And the things that I wanted to do that I couldn't do. And I started appreciating a lot of things. I started to appreciate life. And I started to appreciate that we don't have much time as we think that we have on earth. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Courage narrating a story. Like I said earlier on when we started off the show, we take certain things for granted. You just heard him say, emotionally, he started appreciating certain things in life because he used to take them for granted. If you can walk and if you're able to do everything for yourself, you really don't understand how difficult it is going from that to having to rely on other people or relying on other abilities or instruments rather that can actually help you get through the day. When we come back from the break, we want to find out how has he managed to salvage from this tragedy itself into something of a hopeful story as he sits with us today. This is Against All Odds. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Against All Odds. We continue with Courage as he narrates his story. Just before the break, he was telling us that, physically, he loved sport. Physically, he was such a sport person, an outgoing person. But this tragedy, the accident itself, left him not being able to move freely for 9 months, using a wheelchair and crutches as well, and also realizing that he didn't have the mobility that he used to have. However, that's not the only thing that taught him what life has to offer. He started appreciating as well that, you cannot wake up tomorrow. We don't have the time we think we have. We often say, I'll procrastinate, I'll push it till tomorrow. But you never know if tomorrow is guaranteed. I can say that, Courage, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. So.
Looking at, the accident itself, the injuries that you went through, the process of healing, it wasn't easy. Mentally, I'm sure it was also something that was tasking as well. Because like you said, you're an outgoing person, you loved sport a lot.
Correct.
So you having to be, to go through the process of recovery, for you to be able to walk again. Let's just talk about that because that's definitely an amazing story in itself.
Okay, so it was supposed to be very difficult, but it wasn't really difficult because I had a very strong support structure from work. I'll give credit to my then regional manager. He's late now. He was, I think I'm failing to recall his name. He was Mr. Jaure. And also my supervisors and also the guys I was on the shift with, even the church as well, played a critical role in my recovery. The community that I grew up in, the people from Mashingo, they were very supportive to my parents. From the financial side of things, they would just bump into my dad. Okay, how's the young man doing? Okay, that is a $20. Or even the commissioner, the then Commissioner General of Zimbabwe Revenue Authority, Mr. Pasi, was very supportive with his commissioners as well. I received a lot of visitors, so it was supposed to be a very difficult journey, but I really felt the love from the people, which is one thing that I would reiterate, that when someone is in hospital, they're going through something, at times you don't really need a lot, but you just need to see the signs of life. And I'll also give credit to my pastors at that time, Reverend Ntobeko and Siddhasi Mhlanga from Harvest House International Church. They were so supportive, they came through, so they made things easier for me. Even when I would get into a supermarket, the manager in that supermarket would assign me with the person to assist me with my shopping and everything. So, it was an opportunity where I really felt loved. And in a way, I think I was enjoying it.
You were enjoying the attention.
You know how it is, right?
Okay, we're taking a look at, the life lessons of this. What do you take away from it as an individual who's been through, an accident, a coma, and then, having to go through the recovery process to where you are now? What life lessons do you take from this? Life
lessons. So my grandfather and my father, they often told me this statement that they've passed from generation to generation, that procrastination is the thief of time. And my dad always says, why do it tomorrow what you can do today? So there are some things, yes, we hope to be alive tomorrow, but there are some things that are beyond our control. And I've become a person who, I go for what I want now. When I decide to do something, I go for it. I've got nothing to lose because I almost lost my life. I can confidently say I lost my life, and God brought me back. And I spoke to the other family that I was close to, was Mrs. and Dr. Mazorodze. So she came through to visit me, and she says, when I visited you, you say to me, Mama, I saw Jesus. So it's an experience that I felt like at one moment probably I was dead, and Jesus brought me back to life.
Amazing. Amen to that.
Hallelujah.
Well, Courage, I see that you're such a bubbly person. You definitely look like you enjoy life to the fullest.
I do enjoy my
And
life.
I've got to love the spirit and the courage that you have. No wonder why you were named Courage.
Yeah, it's a prophetic name. I think I should have included that on my intro. Why my parents named me that, and yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It's definitely teaching us a lot about life itself, and even you as a personality, as an individual.
Absolutely,
your spirits are totally high, and I just gotta love that for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, Courage narrating a story. What a spirit he is, high spirits he has, and of course he has the hope for life. He says that it's as if though I was dead and I was brought back to life. He appreciates life in a different form. He sees it from a different lens, having to know that tomorrow is never guaranteed. You never know if it's going to be there. Like I always say, sometimes the support that you need is not financial or material. It can just be being physically present for someone, having to check upon them. Like you said, if you know someone who's in hospital, visit them. This can give them life. And if you've seen the other side of life whereby you've been involved in an accident and you've survived it, well, you know that tomorrow is never guaranteed, and we should never take life for granted. And of course, thanking the Almighty that He is still here. This is Against All Odds, the stories that we share each and every Sunday right here on ZBC TV. My name is Rachel Munyeheli, and until next time, do take care.